Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Several of you are familiar with this guy, JRC Visa Consultant, and you've used him, and I've got many good reports about his services. He's been expanding. He's moved into a new, very nice office complex right across from Ayala Mall in Cebu City. He also has office in Dumaguete, and we'll get into the addresses and some of his other services that he offers. He's expanding his business and has quite a number of people on staff, including the lawyer, including accountant. So he gets into visa consultancies, and I'll show you all the different options. He gets involved in the real estate business. He's a real estate broker as well as a real estate appraiser. He's got an office, continues to expand his services. He offers business consulting. What do you need to do to start a business? How about renewing your business permits? And on the accounting side, on the tax side, all those issues, and we'll go over some of that, even and including prenuptials. Their lawyer can advise on things like that as well. If you've got a lot of assets that you want to protect, there are priorities to help you. And this is a relatively new and evolving website.
Hi guys, it's me, J.R. Coca, the managing proprietor of this company. Nah, I'm just joking. It's me, Kervin. I'm the one answering your emails. So what are the chances of getting disapproved if you file for a motion for reconsideration? So we're gonna give you 3 tips on avoiding that decision, okay? Number 1, lack of supporting documents. Let's say when you file for a motion and you want to stay in the Philippines more than your allowable stay because you are married to a Filipino citizen. After your request is being granted, you will then apply for a 13A visa. So what would be the major document needed when you apply for a 13A visa? So number 1, that would be the marriage certificate. So you need to show proof. PSA original copy will do. The yellow copy, the original, you can attach it to the letter because photocopies might not be sufficient and might be considered as scraps of paper by the Bureau. The second thing would be the inconsistency of statements. It would be best to outline it as clear as possible, indicating when have you arrived, when is your latest visa extension valid until, and what would be your reason to stay in the Philippines. Third would be no intention to stay. So when you file for a motion, take note in mind that you will still be ordered to leave, or you will be given a certain amount of days to secure an appropriate visa or ordered to leave. So when you file for a motion, make sure that you have a reason to stay in the Philippines, because if not, you will still be ordered to leave and pay a certain fees or arrears, that's what they call it. So on top of all of these tips, it will still be subject for the approval of the legal department or the Bureau of Immigration themselves. So it would be best to make it clear as much as possible for you to set your expectations. So if you want us to help you out, draft the specific formats or the forms that you need to provide in support with the motion, reach us out to my email or JR's email or to the company's email, either of those. So you may check us out in our Facebook page, JRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services, and our website, jrcconsultancy.com. If you want to be updated, make sure to like our Facebook page because we post immigration updates from time to time. Or you may message us if you have a unique scenario that you want us to discuss. Feel free. We would be glad to be of service to you. Thank you.
And they have properties listed, property inventory for sale are listed, and I'll get to that a little bit later. And you can, whether you're a buyer or a seller, you can sign up here to deal with those folks as well. JR is a appraiser as well, so that can be very useful. Get in touch with them. Just fill out this form, and they will contact you regarding your issues. Services section, let's first start with visa and immigration. And regardless of your situation, sooner or later, you're probably going to want to use these types of services in the Philippines. If you are quote unquote stuck in your country, whatever, wherever it might be, they can help you process some paperwork from where you're at. And the way they do that, they start by giving you a list, making sure your checklist of all the required documents uh, are available to you, and that you understand what you need to fill out. Because if you show up eventually when travel is allowed back into the Philippines, if you show up, you don't have the proper documents for the type of visa that you want to apply for. Imagine if you don't have a source back in your country that can uh, properly get the proper stamps from either your embassy in your country, or your for the Philippine embassy consulate in your country that oftentimes has to stamp, verify uh, those items. Anyway, visa and immigration services for retired. First, we'll talk a little bit about for the retired U.S. militaries, the SRRV, Special Resident Retirees Visa. Um, they get, and I've got a couple of friends going through this presently. The SRRV, the Special Resident Retiree Visa, expanded courtesy to U.S. retirees, military, 50 years old and above. The honorable discharge and Form DD-214, pension of at least 1,000 USD, US dollars. Visa deposit of 1,500. Now that's a great deal. I am not a retired military, and it would cost me 10,000 US dollars in deposited into a bank here in the Philippines to qualify for the SRRV. If you're below 50, usually would be about 20,000 US dollars in a bank account here in the Philippines to take advantage of the SRRV, the retirement visa. And they can help process that through. One thing that you will need is in many cases, you will need a letter, a benefits letter from where you're at, showing that what your pension is each and every month. I had a friend say, "Well, I've got bank statements." No, that doesn't work. That shows you what you have in your bank account, but unfortunately that doesn't work. You need a benefits letter. And so we've had to contact the military, and that took that was quite a process, I can tell you, because you have to prove that you are who you are. And eventually, after a number of attempts, we were able to get a letter emailed to us, the benefits letter, and proceeding with that. Now, here are additional visas that you can apply for, and they can offer you some advice and consulting on the issues and the number of checklists there again that you need for all these various visas. And you can try to do it yourself. My personal experience, and I'm the type of guy that usually likes to do things myself and learn about it and be able to advise others about it. And I'm learning more, but I also have learned over the last couple of years when I met JR that it is so much easier to hand him my passport when I need an extension, or if I want to apply for a different type of visa, and let them do the legal work and the legwork. Anyway, there's a number of visa, dual citizenship, temporary 9A, So they offer a number of options there. And here's a map. Here's their location. Here's their hours over here, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to noon. Here's the contact phone number and one of the emails that you can use. Here's the address down here. Here's a map. Ayala Center is right over here in this area. Ayala Mall in Cebu City, the main address. Real estate, and they have a site. They're adding more and more properties to sell. So if you're looking to sell something or to buy something, they've got additional information here. House and lot, condominium, beach lot, business solutions. Some people will tell you that, oh, never open a business in a foreign country. Or they'll tell you never buy property in a foreign country. Well, the fact of the matter is there's dozens of different people with different priorities, different dreams, different financial situations, different budgets. There's a certain number of people who are going to start a business. They're going to buy a business. They're going to help manage a business. They're going to buy property. They're going to build a house. They're going to build property. And so they can help all of those people. For those of you who will not be buying, they can help you and guide you on rentals and leases. And like I said, they are expanding their business services as well, in as far as new business, business registration renewals, business registration compliances. I was talking to JR a while back on that, because once you get involved in a business, you bought one, there are requirements that you must meet. There are deadlines to meet those requirements. And it can get costly if you miss those requirement deadlines. And the team. He's been expanding the company. JR's got a lot of plans in expanding the company. And I'm pretty impressed with his operation, with the people that work there. I have met almost everybody here, dealt with each of them on a number of occasions. They're qualified. They are engaged with the customers. I have also, when I first did an interview a couple of years ago with JR, I sent a lot of people his direction, and 99.9%, I would say, of the people who contacted him after hearing about his operation in my channel have given very good results, very positive results. And his department's broken down into visa and immigration. So Vin, Relgan, Ed, Adam, almost every time I go to J Center Mall, oftentimes I run into Adam over there, and team leader, processing and servicing. He's picked up my visa on a number of occasions, picks it up one day, gets everything processed, brings it back to me the next day. And Renalyn, associate processing, Crossy, associate servicing. Real estate, Jimmy. Jimmy has got some very unique experience. He's been involved in the real estate industry. He's been involved in the restaurant consulting. I believe consulting would be the proper term. in setting up and helping to manage and consult in regard to a number of different businesses. Ben as well, team leader, real estate documentation services, Lamarck, and associate as well. Business solutions, Amor and Nida, dealing with, of course, your requirements for your business, setting it up, setting up all the proper documents and requirements. JRC has a number of branches, as I mentioned earlier, a Cebu branch with their main office in across from Ayala Center in the FGU building, and Mole branch across from Lion Dive Center there, and Dumaguete branch. And those of you in Dumaguete area, I'm sure you probably, I think that's right next to or across from immigration there, so it should be relatively easy to find there. This is a relatively new website and evolving. They've got a number of things going on yet that they're adding. And bouncing over to JRC Facebook page, worth checking out the information. They are accredited service provider with the Bureau of Immigration, Philippines, as well as the Philippine Retirement Authority. And you can run down here and they've got about information. And you go over to services, you can check, they've got a number of listings down here. Services reviews, kind of interesting. Reading through some of the reviews, photos, and more videos about community. Anyway, worth checking out. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that those of you who need those types of services, and many of you will sooner or later, JR is including and expanding his business. I'm not going to get into all of the expansion ideas that he has, but I'm pretty impressed with his energy, with his honesty, with the team and his vision for the team and for the various businesses that he's all adding into his operations. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.